Welcome back, coders! Today we'll be creating some cool buttons. Actually, neon glowing buttons, using only HTML and CSS. But before we start, let's check out what the final results will look like. As you can see, we have 6 types of neon buttons, and let me explain each one to you. The first button has smooth neon borders, but they don't glow. Instead, the borders have a nice animation with a linear gradient effect. The second button is quite similar to the first one, but this time the borders do glow, giving it a cool and eye-catching look. Next, we have the third button, which is also a neon button. However, this time, the entire background glows with a smooth, linear gradient animation. The fourth button is almost the same as the third one, but it has the added glowing effect on the background, making it even more mesmerizing. Now, the fifth button is another neon button, but it has a unique feature. The background color changes one at a time, combined with a linear gradient animation. Lastly, the sixth button is quite similar to the fifth one, but it also has that cool glowing effect, completing the neon look. Each of these buttons offers a different and captivating visual effect. So without diving into the complexity, let's start the code. Let's start by creating a division for our buttons. Then we'll make the first button and add some text to it. After that, we'll create 5 more buttons, and for each button, we'll use different classes to give them unique styles. Now we'll write the basic CSS code and make a few adjustments. We'll change the font style to something different and modify some properties of the page. We'll adjust the parent tag of the buttons to ensure they are aligned perfectly in their ideal position. Next, we'll create the buttons. I'm making them big so you can easily see the changes. If you prefer smaller buttons, you can adjust the width and height accordingly. To create a border around the text, we're using the WebKit text stroke property. Now, we'll add a linear gradient background to the buttons. In this case, the width of the button is set to 600 pixels. When using the calc function, 100% is equivalent to 600 pixels. We'll also add an extra 8 pixels to the width, making it a total of 608 pixels. Similarly, we'll adjust the height using the calc function. We'll also resize the background, and with the help of this, we will create a neon animation later. However, for now, we'll focus on making the background fade out when not hovering over the button, and fade in when we hover over it. To make our hover effect smoother, we'll utilize the transition property. Next, we'll add a background layer to the buttons, which will create a neon border effect. This neon border will give our buttons a stylish and eye-catching appearance. Additionally, you can also change the background color when someone clicks on the button using the active pseudo class. We'll animate the linear gradient background using the animation property by giving it a name, time duration, and iteration. We will change the background position to give the illusion of changing background colors. Congratulations, our first neon button animation is complete. Now, let's move on to the second one. To create the second button, all we need to do is add a glow effect to the neon background. We'll achieve this by using the filter property. To create the third button, we just need to make the background layer transparent. To create the fourth button, we'll start by making the background layer transparent. Then, we'll add the glow effect to the neon background. To create the fifth button, we'll start by making the background layer transparent. Then, we'll increase the size of the neon background, ensuring that only one color appears at a time. To create the sixth button, we'll follow the same steps as we did for the fifth button. Additionally, we'll add a glow effect to the neon background. Congratulations! Our neon glowing buttons animation is completed. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with more exciting content. Your support means a lot to me. Thank you for joining me on this exciting journey, and I'll see you next time.